Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel. It is the sandwich time at the moment between Christmas, the new year, games coming thick and fast. Tomorrow, Chelsea are playing Brighton in the Premier League, so expect to see your match preview for the Brighton game in tomorrow's video. Today, we've got three main news stories to talk about. We have got the updates from Di Marzio, who relatively often are pretty accurate, but also they've got some things to say about Erling Haaland, so I want to address those a little bit today because Tuchel said that we were interested or are interested in Haaland back in October, or words to that effect, and it looks as though any Premier League move, according to Di Marzio for Haaland, is off. We're going to talk about Raphinha from Leeds United as well, who is catching interest from some of the big European clubs, Chelsea reportedly one of them, and then we're going to give the latest on Lucas Digne's situation at Everton. Before we do get into anything low, I want to try and end the year as strongly as possible here on GBFC. If you can hit the like button on today's video, that would be wonderful. And subscribe to the George Benson football channel if you are new around here and haven't already done so. But first things first, the game against Aston Villa. It was a great result. I'm still buzzing off the back of that. It's been a lovely Christmas this year, actually, considering last year was my first Christmas ever away from home. This year, it just felt a little better. Christmas time last year too, Chelsea were woeful, and to go to Villa Park on Boxing Day and get a result like that, I'm absolutely delighted with it, and I've been carrying that mood forward into the last couple of days. I downloaded Football Bloody Manager, and I cannot believe I've gone nearly a year without playing this game. I've taken over at Chelsea, and I'm top of the league after 12 matches. Everything is grand. Erling Haaland, the latest updates on him before I give you my entire Christmas story as to what I've eaten, what I've drank. We're on the water now, though. We're being sensible before that Brighton game tomorrow. Erling Haaland, it is being reported by Di Marzio that the Premier League is not what he wants. He wants to go and play in La Liga. And I've always thought that Erling Haaland, when you think about his character, when you think about the personality that he has, I think challenging himself is something that I've really understood about Erling Haaland as one of the key things that he wants to do within his career. He's at Borussia Dortmund. There are rumours circulating all the time that he might even stay beyond the end of this season at Borussia Dortmund. And if he does, then to me, that entirely shows that he is holding out for a Barcelona or a Real Madrid move. Real Madrid are probably going to go in for Kylian Mbappe next summer. If Mbappe still wants to leave PSG to go to Real Madrid, how could they possibly afford both Mbappe and also Erling Haaland? Maybe there is a little plan that Erling Haaland sees in the back of his head where he could wait one more year at Borussia Dortmund and end up alongside Mbappe in a new era of Real Madrid Galacticos. However, I certainly would still not write off any move from Chelsea for Erling Haaland in the future. Seems like a weird thing to say when last summer we obviously went and bought Lukaku instead of Erling Haaland, and it was always those two that were being linked, rumoured, reported that Chelsea wanted in order to strengthen their front line. In the summer, Lukaku was the more affordable. Inter Milan were less reluctant than Dortmund were last summer to sell, but I wouldn't write off any move from Chelsea in the future. I think Premier League clubs like Manchester City, Pep Guardiola again has been flirting with the idea recently about sometime in the future, Man City are going to have to go in the market for a striker. They can't be going with Bernardo Silva, Gabriel Jesus, De Bruyne, Mahrez, Sterling, all of these players who have fitted into different false nine starting 11s that they've done. Man City know that a big name striker is going to have to come through the door at some point. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Do you think that Erling Haaland shying away from the Premier League, is there any legitimacy to those rumours? And how on earth could Barcelona afford to pay for his wages? Could they even afford to buy him after they've just gone out and spent 50 odd million on Ferran Torres? There is a lot of interesting things still to come with this Erling Haaland transfer saga. I still think one day he's going to be in the Premier League, and I still, for whatever reason, despite Lukaku, I still think it could be at Chelsea. I don't know if I'm crazy, if it's just my Christmas spirit taking over the reins here today, but you never bloody know. Di Marzio have said no Premier League. I say bloody nonsense. I want to see him in a blue shirt at Chelsea sometime soon. We move into the next story of the day, and it is regarding Leeds United's Brazilian winger RAPHINHA. A few weeks ago, or a few days ago now, maybe about a week ago, we saw that Bayern Munich was supposedly interested in bringing in RAPHINHA from Leeds for 50 million euros. The issue I have now with Chelsea being linked with him is that Leeds United might be looking at this and thinking, well, RAPHINHA is one of our best players. He's certainly their brightest attacking player, and he is very decent. But 50 million for him, I actually think is good business. The question is, Chelsea, would we risk putting 50 million in RAPHINHA? Because in doing that, we do stunt the growth of Callum Hudson-Odoi. We virtually say goodbye to Timo Werner as a result of bringing in someone like RAPHINHA, although he's on the right-hand side. Christian Pulisic too. I just do not see Chelsea doing this. And in terms of how good is RAPHINHA, I think he's a very good player. I think he's very direct. He's got that moment of explosiveness to go past players, which you guys know here on GBFC. I've made it quite clear that my biggest concern with our wingers is their inability to actually take players on, to drive forward to the byline, to cut inside, get shots away in the box. RAPHINHA does that very well for Leeds. And I do wonder if Chelsea have any interest, which I don't believe we do really. I don't think there is a chance that we're going to go in the market for a winger in January. I think that is one of the positions where we've already got more than enough options. Hakim Ziyech, I think, has been coming into his own a little bit, dropping in and out of form. But I don't see anyone leaving the club in those areas in January. So therefore, any move we have for RAPHINHA, at the moment, I do feel as though it is just a bit of journalism talk. I don't really see any reason for Chelsea to go in for RAPHINHA in January. Let me know though. I've seen a lot of people in the comments of a lot of videos suggesting when we talk about wingers, particularly when I get into the fantasy of Eden Hazard coming back, you guys in the comments always say, why don't we go for RAPHINHA? Younger, less injury prone, Premier League proven too. I see the side of that argument, but let me know in the comments down below what you think. We move into the final story of the day, and it is regarding Lucas Digne. Now, the updates with this one is that he is still probably going to leave Everton in January, which, if Chelsea want to go in for a left-back, left-wing-back in January, it would be a very good option. He's Premier League proven. He's brilliant at contributing goals and assists to the team. And apart from not really working under Rafa Benitez, Lucas Digne has been up there as one of the Premier League's better fullbacks in recent years. At the moment, the latest update regarding this is that Chelsea are going to face competition this January. Even if it's going to be a loan move, maybe we go in and place a bid to Everton and just be like, we want to buy him from you. That could see the end of Marcos Alonso at Chelsea, which I know some people wouldn't mind. I've always kind of been like going up and down with Alonso. 1 minute he'll do something incredible that I'll never forget, like scoring 2 goals at Wembley. It's also his birthday today, by the way, so I wouldn't want to be too harsh on Alonso, but I think the overall consensus is that Marcos Alonso isn't good enough to be consistently Chelsea's wing-back if Ben Chilwell's injury is set to persist. They're going to face some competition from both Napoli and Inter Milan if we are to sign Lucas Digne in January. I think this one is good. I've been thinking about, not so much thinking about transfer stories too much over the Christmas period. I took a few days off, as you guys know. But I've kind of been thinking, like, Chelsea and signing players right now, there are so many different players who I think next season will come back from either a loan, Conor Gallagher, Levi Colwill in centre-back. There are players that I think Chelsea will look at in terms of continuing or being developed from academy graduates into the first team next season. But I do think the left wing-back position is one where we could strengthen by buying somebody. And I think Lucas Digne is that person. People have talked about Ian Maatsen coming back. Ian Maatsen is not good enough at this moment in time to be a consistent backup for Ben Chilwell. And I would still say that Marcos Alonso would get the nod over Ian Maatsen at this moment in time. So, Lucas Digne from Everton. If it is going to be a signing, it could be a loan, which could be good considering he's not having the best season. So if he doesn't get rid of that poor form under Rafa Benitez and start to kick on like he was doing at Chelsea. But anyway, going to wrap up this Chelsea news video for you guys here. Don't want to take up too much of your time over the Christmas period. I hope you're all enjoying time with your family, with your friends, if you can. Lockdown's pending wherever you are in the world. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow for our Brighton preview and 6 things we learned. Come on, you Blues.